All right, let's just jump right into it. Today, in this explainer, we are attempting the impossible, untangling the Greek gods. It's basically the ultimate cosmic soap opera. Literally everyone is related, almost everyone is cheating, and, half the cast has lightning powers. If you've ever found yourself completely lost trying to figure out exactly who is whose parent, lover, or mortal enemy, well, this is the only explainer you're ever going to need to finally make sense of the madness.
I mean, just look at the absolute state of this. Zeus is married to his sister, his brother married his niece, his daughter was born from a headache, and his other son was born from his thigh. Seriously, in Greek mythology, the family tree isn't really a tree at all, it's more like a family circle. It's chaotic, it's messy, but man, is it endlessly fascinating.
So to actually understand all this lore, we're going to build it from the ground up. We'll start with Generation 1, the Primordials, then Generation 2, the Titans, Generation 3, the Olympians, and finally we'll cover the ultimate rules of the Pantheon. Because while it might seem like just wild chaos on the surface, this lore actually follows a pretty strict three-era generational timeline. And trust me, by the time we reach the end of this path, you'll understand exactly why everyone hates Zeus.
All right, Generation 1, the Primordials. This is where it all began. To truly understand how powerful goddesses initially shaped the cosmos, we really have to start at the literal creation of the universe.
So, in the very beginning, there was chaos. And to be clear, we aren't talking about a messy room kind of chaos here. We're talking about the literal, dark, empty, mythological void of the universe. This is our absolute baseline before things got, well, intensely weird.
Out of that dark void, 5 key beings emerge. We've got Gaia, who is Mother Earth, Uranus, Father Sky, Tartarus, the deep pit under the world, Nyx, or night, and Eros, which is desire. And no, not the little baby Cupid version you're probably picturing. Now right off the bat, here's where the family dynamic gets immediately awkward. Gaia, the ultimate foundational matriarch of all this mythology, actually ends up marrying her own son, Uranus. Yeah, we're starting strong.
But this actually brilliantly illustrates the immense female agency driving these myths right from day one. Uranus was a terrible father. He literally locked their children away in Tartarus. But Gaia, she wasn't just going to sit back and take it. She orchestrates the first major overthrow in cosmic history. She commands her youngest Titan son, Cronus, to castrate his father with a sickle. Mother Earth took charge and literally reshaped the universe.
And the direct fallout of Gaia's revenge is absolutely fascinating. When Uranus's, well, severed parts hit the sea, they actually created Aphrodite. Think about that for a second. That means the goddess of love was born entirely from this first generational conflict. It technically makes her a full generation older than Zeus. Honestly, that explains a whole lot about her unapologetic independence later on, doesn't it? Okay, moving right along to Generation 2, the Titans, or as I like to call it, Cronus and the Baby Buffet. Cronus takes over the cosmos and marries his sister, Rhea. So yes, incest is just a recurring political strategy here. It's a whole theme. Now Cronus was deeply, deeply paranoid because he receives this chilling prophecy. You'll be overthrown by your own child. And his horrific, panic-induced solution to this problem? Well, as soon as Rhea gave birth, he just swallowed his first 5 children straight down. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon. Just boom, eaten alive. But once again, a mother steps up to shift the entire balance of power. Rhea was absolutely not losing her 6th child. So she cleverly hides baby Zeus on the island of Crete, outsmarts her husband by feeding him a literal rock wrapped in a blanket, and just waits. Zeus grows up in secret, comes back, and forces his father to vomit up his 5 siblings. This kicks off the Titanomachy, which is a massive 10-year cosmic war against the Titans. Make no mistake, Rhea's deception single-handedly saved the Olympians.
Which brings us to Generation 3, the Olympians. The victorious Big Six divide the cosmos and fully take over the world. Let's do a really quick breakdown of those core Olympians. Zeus takes the sky and becomes king, marrying his sister, Hera. Hera takes marriage and becomes this fiercely loyal but incredibly dangerous queen. I mean, she's an absolute powerhouse who frequently checks Zeus's authority. Then Poseidon gets the sea, effectively becoming the salty older brother who lost out on the sky. Hades just lives downstairs in the underworld. Demeter fiercely controls the harvest, literally holding the earth hostage whenever she needs to. And Hestia, the calmest sibling of the bunch, rules the hearth before eventually giving up her throne.
Now, right here is where the family tree just absolutely explodes, mostly thanks to Zeus's endless affairs. We get this next wave of gods, and their origins are completely ridiculous. Athena bursts fully grown from Zeus's forehead after he literally swallowed her pregnant mother, Metis. We have Apollo and Artemis, twins born to Leto, but only after Hera eventually banned her from giving birth on solid land. There's Hermes, who was born in a cave and was stealing cattle by day 1. Dionysus was sewn into Zeus's thigh, and Persephone, born to Demeter, only to be kidnapped by her own uncle Hades.
Yes, thigh baby. I'm just going to pause for a second and let the sheer absurdity of Dionysus being a thigh baby sink in. His mortal mother died, so Zeus literally incubated the fetus inside his own leg. There is just no way around how weird that is.
But of course, Hera wasn't about to be outdone by Zeus having a child all by himself. Zeus birthed Athena from a headache, requiring absolutely no mother. So how does Hera assert her own dominance? Parthenogenesis. She births Hephaestus, the god of the forge, entirely by herself, out of pure spite. She didn't need Zeus at all. And even though Hephaestus gets thrown off Olympus for being lame, he lands on his feet and becomes the ultimate blacksmith.
And we certainly can't forget Aphrodite's wildly chaotic love life, which really shows just how interconnected and messy all these relationships are. She marries Hephaestus, sure, but then carries on a famously long affair with Eris, the god of war, giving birth to Eros, the actual Cupid, along with Phobos and Deimos. Plus, she loves the mortal Adonis entirely on her own terms and becomes the mother to Aeneas with the Trojan prince, and she says Aphrodite really lived by her own rules, completely refusing to be controlled by any of the patriarchal structures of Mount Olympus.
So let's pivot straight to your ultimate cheat code for Greek mythology. The rules of the Pantheon. Here are 3 simple rules to make sense of all this madness moving forward. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that understanding these 3 rules unlocks the logic behind literally every hero, monster, or minor god you'll ever hear about. Rule 1, power stays in the family. Siblings marrying siblings isn't weird to them, it's just politics. Rule 2, Zeus is the father of almost everyone important. Seriously, if somebody does something cool in these myths, there's a good chance Zeus is their dad. And rule 3, the best gods always come from the weirdest births. Headaches, sea foam, thighs, the Greeks absolutely loved a dramatic entrance.
When you apply those rules, the rest of the mythological map connects instantly. Poseidon and Medusa, well, that results in Pegasus. Helios, the sun titan, he's actually the father of the powerful witch Circe. Atlas, the guy holding up the sky, is the father of the Pleiades. And Prometheus, he literally creates humans and steals fire for us. See, everything just loops back into this massive, interconnected web.
Which brings us to our final takeaway. It is just one big dysfunctional family constantly fighting for the throne. The Greek pantheon isn't some random collection of magical beings. It's one giant, incredibly dysfunctional family fighting over who gets the power, who gets cheated on, and who ultimately has to clean up the cosmic mess afterwards.
Zeus gets to be king because he freed his siblings, and Hera stays queen because she fiercely holds her ground. But ironically, Hades gets relegated to the underworld, and yet he and Persephone actually rule together with the healthiest, most stable marriage of the entire bunch. Oh, and humanity? We only survived this entire soap opera because Prometheus liked us slightly more than the actual gods did.
If you want to trace all these wild connections yourself, drop the word tree in the comments below, and I'll pin the full interactive family tree I used for this explainer. Now, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. If you think the Greeks were chaotic, just wait until next week. Are the Norse gods somehow even messier? Well, you'll just have to tune in to find out.